When you start listing these challenges, I immediately start thinking no small organization can have all of this know-how in their startup team.
They don't.
And I wonder if this is where compliance architects can enter the conversation as a resource to the industry.
It's absolutely a place to partner with a good consulting firm. In fact, we have people with deep knowledge and technical expertise. One of the newest consultants we've added that I think you met last November actually got some of the first CAR T and gene therapy products to market with a very large Fortune 50 drug manufacturer over the last few years. All of us have extensive, deep experience getting things to market, getting things through the approval process. A venture startup firm like that usually has a very entrepreneurial MD, clinical development, strategic marketing business person at the helm, at the CEO level. They invest in their own resources, usually at the VP, CM, and C level. So somebody who's going to help manufacture and set up a supply chain for them. They usually have regulatory consultants. They will often hire quality consultants initially. They will have their own clinical development folks, right? Their own medical folks. Sometimes they have some of their own R&D folks. Sometimes they outsource some of that. They work extensively with third-party providers, so CDMOs, they work with outside labs, they work with CROs to execute their clinical studies because they don't have the infrastructure of a large company. We work from good laboratory practice studies, which is preclinical development, through clinical development, all the way through to the marketplace where they'll be impacted and need to comply with good manufacturing practices at wherever they're going to be manufacturing. So I find it's fun to work with those startup companies because when you have deep industry experience, you can start applying all the things you learned the hard way. All the things that if you could have started from scratch, you would have done that are innovative, smart, they're right-sized, they're risk-based, you've got the right priorities in mind, and we're very good at architecting solutions as they go through clinical development. So they have the quality, processes, and strategy in place that matches the level of clinical development they're in, right? You don't need to have the infrastructure that a big company would have to support a phase 1 study. You need a very scaled back kind of structure, and we focus on those things that are the most important and leave the other things for later stages of development when you finally have more data on the safety and efficacy of your product. So we're working with a number of gene and cell therapy companies. And one of the gene therapy companies that we're working with is going into market with this Parkinson's disease product. There's a very elaborate device system that needs to be used that creates a portal into the brain to apply the drug through. And it's fascinating because why would a company developing gene therapy have a medical device expert? They would never have that. They tried to start on their own and it was a debacle. Every single thing about the device that they tried to do on their own was a disaster. So I happened to meet somebody from that company at the VP level, and she said, do you know anything about devices? I said, we've got great people with devices and combination products. We have had somebody there for 2.5 years shepherding the quality program for the entire device program. And until they actually get to phase 3, that will be the point. They will probably put in place their own device quality group in a small way, but until they get to that point, we have the same person that she absolutely loves and that has worked intimately with that organization, that is part of that organization. He helped them find new suppliers, he helped them qualify new suppliers, worked with the development team to get an acceptable device assembly setup to be able to deliver the gene therapy, and they're moving into phase 2 studies now.